G'day everyone, it's Aussie Dollar Man here with a quick outlook for you for the Australian dollar for the week of Monday, the 20th of January, 2025. A quick disclaimer before I do this video should not be taken as a recommendation or trading, investing advice or any kind of advice at all. This is simply my opinion based on my studies and understanding of the works of WD Gann. Now, my thoughts looking at the swing charts, you can see on the left-hand side of my screen, I've got a monthly chart running down. We've been running down since September there. Obviously, it's been very, very bearish. That's the big picture is bearish. Long trades during this time or trying to buy and make money as the market goes up have not been very successful. It's been down, down, down. And that's no surprise as shown by that monthly swing there. If we break that monthly move down, we can see on the weekly chart in the middle of my screen there, there's a little bit more detail there, but that's been very bearish as well. Key points to note, though, are the lower tops there on the weekly chart. Lower swing tops, lower swing bottoms is what we define as a downtrend. Certainly the Aussies been in that downtrend. That last weekly top there at the 63-cent mark that you can see, that's the point that has to be broken if we are going to start turning this trend around and start making a bit of a run to the upside. There will be a run to the upside at some point. I do think it's going to be a bearish year, but if you go back and study the markets for any long enough period of time, you'll see that moves don't just happen in one big gigantic move up or down. 99% of the time, occasionally they do, but generally it is in a series of waves or swings or sections or whatever you want to call it. So I do think at some point that monthly swing will turn up and we'll see some kind of a rally. And then we'll judge the strength of that rally as to whether or not we've got more downside or whether we've got a major low in the Australian dollar. As I said earlier, I do think that we do have a bearish year ahead of us for the Australian dollar, but I'm a trader. I'm not a forecaster or an investor. So if the signs tell me otherwise, I'm happy to change my mind and go the other way. Now, what I've just been talking about, if you're a swing trader with a swing trading background, that should all make perfect sense to you. If you don't have any swing trading experience, keep in mind, this is a channel about Forex trading and WD Gann. People talk about WD Gann and all of the work that he did with forecasting, in both time and price. But if you look at any of Gann's works, right at the beginning, you generally have some information on form reading and swing charting or swing trading. So basic trading skills. And Gann was a lot of things, but one of the things that he was very, very good at was trading and form reading a market. So if you don't have those skills, you can always look at the beginning of Gann's courses. I found a very helpful company called Safety in the Market. That's where I learned it all from. safetyinthemarket.com.au. You can check them out. They have a program called the Active Trader Program. That's how I learned to swing trade. I was a student there for many years. I do recommend them. That's just my personal opinion. I was also a teacher there, so obviously I would recommend that, but I'm not associated with them anymore, and I don't get anything for mentioning that. That's just an honest opinion. Happy to give a plug to someone who I think can help you. So if you do need some swing trading help, check out safetyinthemarket.com.au. Back to the charts though, looking at those lower tops on the Australian dollar, that 63-cent mark, if that is exceeded, that may be our first clue that we are heading up there. So that's a key level to watch. If we move on to the daily chart on the right of the screen, you can actually see that we've been stuck in a box since that 19 December low. We've basically been in a 1.5 cent range for just over a month now. Or basically right on a month. But if you take out the extremes there, which were the 6th, 7th of January high and then the 13th January low, it's basically been about a 1 cent range. It's been very, very tight there. There's not a lot going on there. And often you'll see that happening towards the end of a trend. You've got a bit of accumulation going on if you're coming near a bottom, or you've got some distribution near a top. I think there may be a fraction more to go to the downside in this monthly swing, but I think we are getting a lot closer, or we are a lot closer to a low than we are to a top. We've got the potential there with Friday's bar to be a first higher bottom on the daily chart out of that low. So there is potential for a bit of a rally there. Should that happen, of course, that 63-cent point is the point that needs to be broken to have any chance that this market is ready to push up. Otherwise, I'm still watching. I've got a target of 60.4 US cents for the Aussie dollar for the end of that monthly swing down. Now, it may exceed that. It may go a bit further, but that's where I would be looking for that swing to end. And once it hits that level, that's when I'd be starting to look for some serious long positions. And when I say serious, I still think that the overall trend will be down for the year. But when your monthly swing chart turns, you know it's at least going to be a decent enough move that you can potentially make some good profits from that move, even if it is an against the trend trade on the bigger picture. Now, back in December, I gave a short-term forecast for 3.5 months on the Australian dollar. If you haven't watched that video, you can check it out on the channel. Link is in the description. The dates that I gave out for December were 13, 20, and 26 December. These were for swing turning points on the daily or the 2-day chart on the Australian dollar. For January, I had the 3rd, the 8th, the 15th, the 21st, and the 29th. Obviously, the 21st is coming up this week. The 29th is coming up on the following week. Okay. Now, so far, since that video has come out, these are the dates or the turning points that we've had come in. We had a high there on the 12th of December, so that was 1 day early, a nice daily swing high there, running down to a swing low on the 19th. Obviously, that was 1 day earlier than forecast on the 20th of December. So a really nice swing trading move there. Remember, and I don't want to rub this in too much, but I think it's important for us as Gann traders. Gann trading is a long journey, and it's hard enough to put in the work required to learn Gann's work, what was written, and then to learn some of Gann's work that was coded, and that you have to decode and decipher over these. It is going to take you some time. And during that time, you're going to hear stuff that will motivate you, like Gann's successes, but you're also going to hear people, often well-meaning friends and family, but they'll tell you it can't be done. It's all rubbish. You know, Gann was a scam. He was just a good marketer. All his forecasts were done in hindsight. All this, you'll hear these sorts of things. I'm actually going to do a video on that next week, in the next week or two, just to see what Gann did and didn't do, or could and couldn't do. But this is just to show you, I'm not claiming credit for these dates. This is generated from a cycle within Gann's book, Tunnel Through the Air. Gann is the one who discovered the cycle and encoded it and shared it. I'm just putting this up here as a bit of a tribute to Gann, but also as a little bit of motivation for you on your long Gann journey, just to show you that it can be done. This video was published in the middle of December, so you can see there a nice swing trade from the 12th down to the 19th. Next day it was the 26th. Now that's happening. That's come in the middle of a really sideways move. That's around Christmas. I don't generally trade around the Christmas period, but the pivot can still be seen there. You can actually draw a line from the 19 December low up to that 26 December high, and you can see that there is actually, the market is respecting that line. Let's put it that way. I can say a fair bit about that, but that's a discussion for another day. From there, we've gone down to our 2nd January low, up to our 7 January high, and then down to our 13 January low. Now, the dates, they're not expected, or sometimes I'll hit perfectly, but you give them a 1 to 2 day window either side. But from a swing trading perspective, to note that in advance, that's very, very useful for a swing trader to know that direction of the market, and then to know where those pivots are likely to be, so that you can look to close trades, take profits. I took profits there on the 19 December low, and then look to get set for your next trade, or look for that next setup. And the other thing that they can do is that it's like a backstop in some ways, because if you're not sure, you get stopped out of a trade, you're not sure what's going on, you know that your next date is not that far away. It can be as close as 4 or 5 days away, maximum sort of 10 to 12 days away, but it's not that far away. So you've always got that next opportunity around the corner. It's great to have these. As I said, they're from Tunnel Through the Air. I've done an audio book of Tunnel Through the Air, so you've got no excuse if you don't have time to sit down and read. If you're in the car, if you're going for a walk, you can sit and listen to Tunnel Through the Air, and you can slowly extract those secrets of Gann over time. It will take time. There's no shortcut to it. You've got to have the background to do it. You've got to do some study and research, but as you can see, it's worth it. And keep in mind that while these may not look like fantastic trades, these pivots, these dates, they will show up in all kinds of markets. This is a sideways market. The last month has been flat and sideways, but they have still provided some opportunities for trading. Not fantastic moves, but you'll see these in strongly trending periods of the market too, and they will obviously give you better trades there. There are also larger cycles in Tunnel Through the Air that go with this cycle. They get layered on top of it, and they're the ones that you really want to have, so that you can take those longer term trades, those longer term moves, and get those bigger chunks out of the market. Okay, so for the rest of the dates there, you can check out that video. It's on this channel, Aussie Dollar Man. It's just called Australian Dollar Short-Term Forecast, December 2024. In terms of news coming up, there's not a lot coming out this week that you would expect would affect the Australian dollar. You've got the US dollar unemployment claims on Thursday night, which would be Friday morning Sydney time. When you go to the website forexfactory.com/calendar, you'll see that all the announcements are listed for the whole week. It's great. It tells you the currency that's expected to be affected or that it relates to, and the time and the date that it comes out, so that you can be ready for it. And then you've got a ranking there. So you've got yellow, orange, and red. The red dates are more expected to be more significant than the orange or the yellow dates there. Okay, but not a huge amount of news coming out. We do, however, have the Donald Trump inauguration as president or returning president of the United States on January 20th. So could be an interesting time there for those first couple of days of the week. Now, don't forget to like and subscribe if you would like to see more of these videos. I will not be doing them forever, but for a while I will be putting out these outlooks for you. So if you would like to see them keep on coming, make sure to subscribe to the channel. If you have already subscribed, you don't need to do it again. It's just a one-time thing. You'll see if you click on it again, it will unsubscribe you. So your choice if you want to subscribe or unsubscribe, and then also the like button over there. Okay, that's all for me. Wishing you all the best. Have a lovely week. All the best with your trading, and bye for now.